the essence of the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent.
How many men have children and the children never meet their father? See, you created a void in that child because you are a part of that child.
Black power! Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
Black power!
Are you feeling fatigued and can barely make it through the day without some type of caffeine?
Are you on a journey of healing your body but need a little help?
Then alkaline water is what you really need.
Alkaline water has many benefits. Alkaline water can help restore pH balance in the body. Consuming beverages such as soda and coffee can make your body acidic.
Did you know that too much acid in your body has been linked to an intermittent heart disease, obesity, diabetes, autoimmune disease, chronic pain, and other chronic conditions like gout and arthritis?
Those who use alkaline water have reported increased energy levels, clearer skin, reduction in inflammation, better digestion, and many other health benefits. I've used alkaline water for years, and it's been instrumental in sustaining my health when I was diagnosed with sarcoidosis.
Are you ready to take responsibility for your body's health?
If the answer is yes, then our alkaline water is just what you need. Bring your own bottles. It's only $3 for each gallon. To place an order or for more information, you can reach us at 773-846-3091. Thank you in advance for your support.
Hi, my name is Sister Ebony Stevenson. I am your announcer for today. Welcome to the Toma Nation's weekly Sunday worship service from 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. every Sunday at 616 East 71st Street here in Chicago, Illinois, and also live on Facebook. If you would like more information, you can reach us at www.facebook.com/TomaNation2 or give us a call at 773-952-8302. Now I'm going to recite our opening. In the name of the eternal divine spirit, the one that causes all that exists to exist, the one that is self-existent, the one who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years, and the one who made time the seed of the universe, known among the ancient Kemites or Egyptians as Amun-Ra and Aten, among the Hebrews as Ansar, Yahweh, and Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims and Islamic world as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah Rastafari, among the Yoruba tribes of West Africa as Odumare, Eshu, and many other Orisha names. I bear witness that all of these names refer to the same one, Almighty Spirit, and it is to that essence which I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, the descendants of those black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are the Lost 13 tribe, born in North America and are of a Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the earth flows through our veins. I greet you in the ancient but holy words of peace, Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu Alaikum, Habaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. Now I am going to recite the 13 points of what we believe and know. Number 1. We believe and know that we are not to repeat the mistakes of the past prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator of the heavens and earth. Number 2. We believe and know that we can only establish an economic base through the application of the knowledge of self and the incorporation of the ideologies of the Honorable Marcus Garvey, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Mahatma Gandhi, and Ben Ami. Number 3. We believe and know that the prophets and messengers of the Holy Bible, the Holy Quran, and the Kemetic Holy Books were all black. Number 4, we believe and know that Jesus Christ of 2,000 years was and is a black man. Number 5, we believe and know that the knowledge of the Almighty Creator goes beyond books written by the prophets and messengers of the Almighty Creator. Number 6, we believe and know that in order to promote and coordinate unity, we must first recognize and accept the uniqueness of being able to worship our Creator, regardless of religious denomination, name, title, ritual, particular dress, or holy book, as long as it recognizes the Almighty Creator of the heavens, earth, and the universe as supreme. Number 7, we believe and know that it is impossible to tell the truth without exposing the wicked governments of the world. Number 8, we believe and know that the United States government, in collaboration with other European nations, have a denial objective to exterminate dark-skinned people of color off the earth through the act of genocide. Number 9, we believe and know that some of the most effective methods that are being used today are AIDS, birth control, alcohol and drug abuse, vaccinations, gang and domestic violence, systematic elimination of trauma centers, the public school system, and public aid within the black communities of America and the world. Number 10, we believe and know that the last trick that Satan is playing on us is the dividing of us by our religious differences, religious gangbanging. Number 11, we believe and know that the conflict between the various religions are comparable to the conflict between various street gangs within the inner cities of America. Number 12, we believe and know that the war on drugs and gangs is a diabolical plot to disarm the black community of weapons, break up the black family, withdraw our constitutional rights, also kill and incarcerate young black males under the undercover code name April 2029. And number 13, we believe and know that every letter, shape, sound, and numerical value contains esoteric information that completely transcends the specific contextual meaning of the word. Our purpose: to bring about the growth of a righteous community in accordance with the laws of the Creator of the universe, under the leadership and guidance of Brother Minister Raheem Quassad Oxen, to provide solutions to the social and economic ills that plague the communities of urban America. Our goal: to re-educate and retrain youth and young adults to develop positive moral values as an alternative to delinquent behaviors, because you can't rebuild a community and not rebuild the minds of the residents of the community to meet the responsibilities of maintaining the community's image. Our mission: to enhance the economic development of our communities by establishing businesses, real and personal properties, thereby creating jobs and/or entrepreneurship training programs that will reverse the concept of leaving the community to buying back the community. Our motto: let your light so shine before men that they shall see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. Matthew 5:16. Now we're going to recite our salute to the red, black, and green flag. Everyone put your right fist in the air and repeat after me. Here's to this flag of mine, the red, black, and green. Hopes in its future bright, Africa has seen. Here's to the red of it, great nations shall know of it. In time to come, red blood shall flow of it. Historians shall write of it, this flag of mine. Here's to the black of it, 400 million's back of it, whose destiny depends on it. The red, black, and green of it, oh flag of mine. Here's to the green of it, young men and women shall dream of it, face shots and shells for it, maidens shall sing of it, waving so high. Here's to the whole of it, colors bright and pole of it, pleased is my soul with it, regardless of what is told of it. thanks to God for giving it, this great flag of mine. Please keep your right fist raised high in the air as we sing our Black National Anthem. Black power, Black power, Black power. Black power is the power to define, develop, and defend that which is in the best interest of Black people.
The everlasting Father, he that causes all that exist to exist, he that is self-existent, he who directs the sunships of millions and trillions of years, he who made time the seat of the universe. He's known among the ancient Kemites or Egyptians as Amun-Ra and Aten, among the Hebrews as Ansel, Yahweh, Elohim, among the Christians as Lord, God, and Jehovah, among the Muslims as Allah, the one God, among the Rastafarians as Jah Rastafari, among the Yoruba tribe as Olodumare, Obatala, and many other Orisha gods. But I bear witness that all of those names refer to the same one, Almighty God. And it is to him whom I give reverence and to whom I submit. I boldly proclaim that we, those children of those Black men and women who survived the transatlantic slave trade, are that lost 13th tribe born here in North America, and that we are of a Nubian Kemetic lineage. I further proclaim that the blood of all the nations of the world flow through our veins. I greet you all in the ancient, but yet holy words of peace in the many different languages of our fathers, of Hotep, Shalom, Assalamu alaikum, Abaragani, Alafia, and Ashe. Welcome, welcome to the Temple of Mercy Association, AKA the Toma Nation. And I am yours truly, Brother Minister Raheem Kassed Aten, founder of this great movement, along with the co-founder, Minister Omari Jahi Aten, and our First Lady of this Toma movement, Sister Makita Aisha Aten. Again, welcome, Facebook, YouTube, and all the others that are on here live. Again, you heard in our introduction that we are Temple of Mercy Association, an all-inclusive, Black conscious, righteous movement. I say that because we're leading into the Black History Month, they call it. And you heard last week from our Sunday school teacher, and that's really not one of the best titles I could give, but that's the only I can come up with right now. Sister Ebony, who spoke last week on Black history. And you can go back and listen to her lecture. Today, I would call it moving right along with what she basically was talking about. I want to talk to you about Black, African American. Who are we? Because in the United Snakes of America, they say this is Black History Month. And we know that Carter G. Woodson created it, and he called it Negro History Month. But today in 2026, we still in America are grappling over who we are. What is our culture? Even though in Toma, you heard me say that the blood of all the nations of the world flow through our veins. So hopefully today, by the grace of the Creator, that He will speak to me and through me to help us get a bigger picture and a clearer insight on who we are in America. I'd like to pray real quick. Father, humbly come before your presence, thanking you for this moment, this very second, asking that you continue, Father, today to speak to me, to speak through me, to speak to us, to guide us, to direct us in the way that we should go. Father God, I pray that you allow me to tap into that higher essence, Father God, drawn from that higher power. Father, not for myself, but for our people, which includes me. Father God, that people that you told Yeshua, don't go to the Samaritans or the Gentiles, but first to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. We know, Father, that the house of Israel, or whatever title you give it, we're talking about a special people. We believe that the special people is that tribe called the Lost 13 Tribe. We ask and pray that you give us guidance and direction today. In essence of your Son, Yahshua, the Black Messiah, in his name we pray and say peace, peace. Amen. So I want to start first by talking about our history. The history that they teach us about us coming here, and you heard me mention the transatlantic slave trade. That history, from that time we were brought over here till today, is being repeated slowly but surely. And if we stay there in that knowledge and understanding, which we have grew by leaps and bounds as far as the knowledge of what it is that we've done, and all other different inventions that we were responsible for all the way up to 2026. But yet, our history here in America is becoming our present. So Toma, mostly, since we already gonna get a lot of what it is that we've done here, usually go all the way back to ancient Kemet that they call Egypt today. And we go back there to see some of those inventions that we made before we got here. And a lot of people don't know that in ancient Egypt, ancient Kemet, that certain things like a pick and a comb and wigs were already invented before we were even thought here. And many other things. When we look at our pyramids and all of the different temples that were built with that science that we used in math, that they cannot even today use the same kind of math and statistics that we use to build those pyramids. And so we call it Black heritage only because we want to set the record straight first again as to who we are. Because we are bigger than just being called the children of Israel. I'm not talking about the cultural thing. We're bigger than that. Let me share with you definitions of heritage. Something that comes to or belongs to one by reason of birth, an inherited lot or portion by law, any property, especially land, that by law was descended or may descend to an heir. An heir, all right? Versus descendants. We're talking about heirs. There's a difference between someone's heir and being their descendant. A descendant descends from that person. The child, the grandchild, the great-grandchild. An heir is someone who is entitled to a share in the deceased person's estate. An heir is a person who is legally entitled to collect an inheritance. Heirs who inherit the property are children, descendants, or other close relatives of that descendant. So now let's look at that. Let's go biblically to Romans 8:16 and 17. It says, the Spirit itself bears witness with our spirit that we are the children of God. Now, a lot of people say, well, everybody can say that. Well, we already know that 97, probably 100% of those prophets and kings in the Bible were Black. We know this. They won't tell you that because Leonardo da Vinci and those other artists drew the pictures that represent themselves, but not representing us. But just recently, Vladimir Putin pulled out some artifacts from some of their museums showing us Jesus being Black, Mary being Black, the baby Jesus being Black, Joseph, all of them Black. Just recently, letting you know that even the white folks know that the people in the Bible being depicted were Black. And then the Pope did it. Not this Pope, the one before then. Did the same thing. Went into their archives and pulled out the truth about Blacks in the Bible. So when we read this and it says, we are the children of God, and if children, then heirs. Heirs of God. Joint heirs with Christ. That's verse 17. If so be that we suffer with him, that we may also be glorified together. The word Christ in itself is a subdivision of the word Krishna, which means the Black one. Just by itself, it goes back to Black. See? And then in Psalms 82:6, it says, I have said, ye are gods. All of you are children of the Most High God. John 10:34, Jesus even answered the people and said, is it not written in your law, I said ye are gods? So now I'm taking us back beyond just this Black history, beyond this 6,000 year situation where the Caucasian has been on our planet for at least 6,000 years now. I'm taking you back. And if we're joint heirs, and we already know that when you're a joint heir with Christ, and he is the Son of God, they say, then he would actually be our brother. See, because cousins and all don't become king. Cousins and all don't become heirs to a throne. Just siblings. So right there, we know who we are. And I just wanted to set that record straight, because if we want to go all the way back, we got to go all the way back to it started. When we came with the earth. That's how far back we go. We came with the earth. And see, Toma, we say that we are an all-inclusive, Black conscious, righteous movement. Why Black conscious? Because we dig so deep into the knowledge of just that term Black. Why do we do this? Because we looked at the dictionary and saw all the definitions for Black, and they were negative. Almost a whole page. And the question came to me, I say, why would a people, whoever wrote this dictionary, take the measures that they took to make everything Black negative? Was it to keep us away from that term? Was it to make us feel bad about using that term? Think about it. So we decided to go and research Black. Then we found out the prophets and messengers of the Bible and Quran and all the other Kemetic holy books were Black. We found out that Jesus Christ of 2,000 years was Black. We even noticed that because we are coming into the knowledge of our true selves, we know now that the United States government, in collaboration with other European nations, have a denial objective to exterminate dark-skinned people of color off the earth through the act of genocide. Why? Because we're coming into the knowledge of our true self. We're understanding our true relationship to God. We're understanding that our true relation to Yahshua, that he stood in that doorway so we can really truly find out who he was when they said a hair like lamb's wool and feet like fine brass burnt in an oven. So we can come to him and see him and watch his character and his actions and his teachings, so we can pick up on it and understand what he meant when he said, greater things you will do. Greater. Showing you how powerful we are. Showing you how great we really are on this planet. And so we got a few things that separate us. One is our cultural differences in America, being Black, not knowing whether we are Hebrews or Moors or African or Pan-African or what they call Afro-descendant, African descendants of slaves. Forgot the thing the old boy called us, something Black Americans, some word. It'll come to me though. So I want to take us somewhere. Preferably you can follow me. All right. And you're going to hear about the number 13 more than once. And I'll get over to that part to show you what that's going to be about. So I want to start right here at Romans 13. All right. And it says, verse 11, 12, and 13, and that knowing the time. Okay, what time is it now? You're seeing all of these things that Trump is doing. You're seeing all the stuff that ICE is doing. You're hearing the death rate of gun violence is rising and rising and rising, and the food prices and just everything right now. It says, knowing the time that now, talking to Black people, it is high time to awake out of sleep. For now is our salvation nearer than when we believed. Another part in the Bible says, why men slept, an enemy came in and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But now it's time to wake up, because the night is far spent. The day is at hand. Let us therefore cast off the works of darkness and let us put on the armor of light. Why is it our time as a people? Because if America's fallen, then God's people, who they said themselves that is two nations in America, one Black, one white, separate but unequal, two nations. So if this nation of this white race of people on this planet that's centered here in America is going down, then we should be coming up. We got to unite. We got to come together. We got to stop fighting our religious and cultural differences and sit down and form a solidarity among ourselves to fight for the same cause. We got to stop it, you all. Because if we don't, it's going to be our disunity that's going to cause us to self-destruct. And we're going to go down with her. Who is her? America. We got to walk honestly, like as in the day, not in rioting and drunkenness, not in chambering and wantonness, not in strife or envy. So one of our books for this month, because you know we do prescribed readings, one of our books for this month is a book by Anthony T. Browder. It's called Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization. I'll be reading an excerpt from this book, Anthony T. Browder. The other book I'll be reading from is another one of our prescribed readings, Black Root Science. Get it? Next week, I'll be reading from another book, but I'll tell you about that later. So now let's talk about this thing. Anthony Browder stated in his book, Nile Valley Contributions to Civilization, he says, the transformation of enslaved people from African to Negro to colored to Black, and currently to African American. But then they even got a couple of more now, brothers and sisters. It has been quite an evolution. You know, our evolution in Black America is from man to God, or from human being to supreme being. In 18th century America, free Blacks saw themselves as African and incorporated their ethnicity into the names of their newly created institutions. For example, in Philadelphia, Prince Hall founded the African Lodge, number 459. Richard Allen, another resident of Philadelphia, founded the Free African Society in 1787, and the African Methodist Episcopal Church, AME Church, in 1794. After the Emancipation Proclamation in the mid-19th century, Black Americans no longer identified with the term African, and they began to refer to themselves as colored or Negro in order to distinguish themselves from Africans living in Africa and elsewhere. Well, that ain't working too well, y'all. Because if we call ourselves Africans, or even if we call ourselves African American, you got white people that'll benefit from that because they were born and raised in Africa. And if they come over here, they would be African Americans. And any benefits they're going to give African Americans, they're going to give it to them first. And that's a fact. That's a fact. They're going to give it to them first. Only one who probably ain't going to need it is that rich guy of Tesla. For some reason, their names are not coming to me, but y'all know who I'm talking about. So after the emancipation in the mid-19th century, Black Americans no longer identified with the term African, began to refer to themselves as colored, Negro, in order to distinguish themselves from Africans living in Africa and elsewhere. Well, some of the Black institutions that were developed in the early 20th century began to reflect this new orientation in name, such as National Association for the Advancement of Colored People, NAACP, 1909, the Association for the Study of Negro Life and History, 1915, the National Council of Negro Women, 1935. Then the name Black came into prominence after the birth of the Civil Rights Movement in 1955. It gained wider acceptance with the development of the Black Power and Black Study movements in the 1960s. All right. So now, just so you can understand something, we're not against the Civil Rights Movement in total, but we're more leaning toward the Black nationalist movement, doing for self, creating our own, being on the same footing as every other ethnic group is, trading with each other than to constantly still be begging. See, civil rights movement is cool. We've gained a whole lot of our rights that are civil by fighting to be recognized as human beings instead of 3/5 of a human. So that those who fought that fight, I say, God bless you. But now we're just standing still. Right now, we're on the verge of getting the Voting Rights Act abolished. All the stuff y'all voting for and this and that. Okay, so we've gotten far as we're going to go with them giving us our civil rights. So if we don't wake up and act on the things that we're supposed to do for self that the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey and the Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us to, we're going down with them. We're going down with America. So it says, a nationwide telephone survey of 759 Blacks or African Americans conducted by the Joint Center for Political Studies in the fall of 1990 disclosed the following. Despite the increasing use of the term African American, most Black Americans still refer or prefer to be called Black. What's the percentage? 72% preferred Black, 15% preferred African American, 2% Negro. Then you got some other ones, Foundational Black America, Afro-Descendant Nation, African Descendants of Slaves, and all of those other names that we trying to be. All because the blood of all the nations of the world flow through our veins. Isn't that deep? So now we look at this. We said we got to stop religious gangbanging because that's what's dividing us. But we also got to stop culturally gangbanging. Because no matter what you want to call yourself, if you want to call yourself Africa, you still here in America. If you want to call yourself American, you here. If you want to call yourself a Moor, you're here. You're Hebrew, you're right here. And all of us are suffering the same ills. So we need to set that aside and just recognize those things in our culture or in that particular culture that are unique to the others and just accept it as a unique experience. It don't have to be considered wrong. We got too many challenges. We got too many lives being lost. We got people who are not in our best interest taking us all the way back to the 1900s and the 1800s. Why are we fighting with each other? Yes, we had the transatlantic slave trade, even though we got some people say we didn't. Okay, you want to fight over that? We just want to find something to fight about. But yet we're number one in all the negative things. Number one in every negative, bad health issue concerning us. Number one on the economic bottom scale when it comes to our wealth and our health. But yet we fighting over this crap. And just recently I seen a new group that was formulating, calling themselves the Black Panther Party, saying they're gonna go down there and fight ICE in Minnesota or Minneapolis and fight to help them because they are part of us. Yeah, they got some black blood in them. A whole lot of people got some black blood in them. Got some white blood in them. But you said one drop makes you black. So, and when I say you, I'm talking about white America. So let's live with that. Okay? But Toma stands in solidarity with any group that is being oppressed. Not just in America, but all over the world. And we will speak on it. But at the same time, we're in a state of emergency. We've been in a state of emergency, and we got work to do for ourselves. We have to be honest with each other, brothers and sisters. Where were they when we were fighting? Where were they when we were getting beat down?
Where were they when guns and water hoses and dogs was put on us? Where were they? Bring it all the way up to date. When they had the knee on old boy's neck, Floyd, where were they? And any of the other ones that got shot and killed, and we came out here and we were protesting, where were they? So we're not being evil or mean. We empathize with them just like we empathize with the Palestinians. We empathize with even the Africans that are going through something in the Congo and in the Sudan, being victims of war and the aftermath of war and starvation and famine. But we can't hop on a bandwagon and be outside with them doing this and that and standing on the TV and talking and telling, why are we championing their cause and we ain't even championing our own because we too busy fighting with each other? Just think about it. So we empathize with them. God set us up to be a new people. This is what I'm trying to tell you. The transatlantic slave trade was ordained by God. Why? To put the black man in America under the most tremendous pressure, equal to the pressure on a lump of coal that creates a diamond. Why? In order that he might create a new and a more evolved black man. Did y'all hear me? Why do you think they own us more than any other black group here in America? Why they ain't own them like that in Canada? Why they ain't own them like that in Africa and South Africa? They focusing on us, the Lost 13 tribe right here in the wholes of North America. We got to recognize, brothers and sisters, that we are a new people on this planet. New, but yet old. New, but yet original. In the progression of time and in the evolution of a people, we need to understand that when we progressed, see, we didn't digress. When we progressed to black, we instantly became universal. We became one. United together with blacks all over the world and all over the universe. It's blacks on other planets, y'all. And that's why we say the blood of all the nations of the earth flow through our veins. That's why we say that. So now, I called us the Lost 13 tribe. And I want to talk to you about the number 13. Because if you go back in your studies right now, today, you will see that for some strange reason, no matter how big our population get, they still keep tagging us as 13% of the population. Then they make you think that the number 13 is a bad luck number. Again, just like the term black, we got to understand why they hear the number 13, why they made it be bad luck, so we can believe that. Why are they going all out of their way to keep us from understanding number 13? And then God let them keep that number on us so we can break it down and know who we are, to see that it is our time. I'm going to read number 13. A number indicating change of plans. The number warning of the unknown and the unexpected. Known also as a number of upheaval and destruction. Oh yeah. It cleans, it purifies. In some of the ancient writings, it said, he who understands the number 13 will be given power and dominion. I just read to you Romans 13. I just told you we had lost 13 tribes. It's a karmic number, and it's the number of upheaval, so that new ground, brothers and sisters, can be broken. Number 13 has great power. If this power is used for selfish purposes, it'll bring destruction of yourself. And in turn, this will bring dis-ease and illness. Adapting to change gracefully will bring out the strength of that 13 vibration and decrease any potential for the negative. All right. in our what we believe and know, point number 13 of the 13 points of what we believe and know says, we believe and know that every letter shape, every letter sound, and numerical value contains esoteric information that completely transcends the contextual, that means the context was on paper, the contextual meaning of the word. And this is why we're breaking down number 13 to you, so you can understand. When it says change, if you take the 1 and the 3 and put it together, it's the capital letter B. And that was the main word that caused change, that had creation to come into existence. It wasn't let there, and it wasn't light. It was be, and it was. Be, and so it is. In the Bible, that's what it says, be. In the Holy Quran, it says, kun fayakun, be. And so it be. Kun fayakun. Again, talking about be. So that number 13 is us. All right? It also says, as the 13th vibration is associated with genius. Oh yeah, we're genius. We invented every damn thing. You know we geniuses. We still inventing all the way up until now. We invented whatever it took to put in the cell phone for it to work. We invented whatever it took to put into the computers to make them work. We continually inventing stuff, and they getting the credit for it. Yeah, we are who we are, and we need to start turning toward ourselves and inventing things for ourselves and doing for ourselves, because if we're going to continue to depend on some group of people who are falling, we are going to fall with them. That's just it. We're going to fall right with them. It's associated with genius. People under that vibration, which is the 13th tribe, that's us. We need to strive to transmute all of our vices into virtues. Number 13, people go through many trials, tests, temptations. Yes, we're supposed to be tried and tested. According to the Holy Quran, it says, do you think that you're going to be left alone and saying you believing in this type of teaching, that you believing in what you hear, and you don't think you're going to be tried to see if your love is true? And a lot of people fail when the trial comes because they can't take it. The conscious people will go through many trials, many tests, temptations in their search for spiritual consciousness. We call it Christ consciousness. The conscious must always be their guide. As number 13 is the number of right judgment, and their spiritual growth is more often gained through pain rather than pleasure. Look at all the pain that they say that Yahshua endured on the cross. Look at all the pain that Nat Turner went through. Look at all the pain that Martin Luther King went through. And I ain't talking about that one bullet. I'm talking about all the strain in his relationship and all the pain, because he constantly was being looked at and monitored, and FBI and CIA constantly on him, worrying about his wife and kids while he out here trying to do some things to try to bring the truth to our people. Showing us that, sorry you all, you don't like this, but showing us that the white man was the devil. I told him, we say Elijah Muhammad said the white man said with his mouth, the white man is the devil. And without Martin Luther King knowing it, he showed us. By his resistance and on worldwide media, it showed nothing but the devil would treat some humans like they treated us. Nothing but the devil would hang black people on a tree. Nothing but the devil would burn us at the stake with no remorse, smiling, taking pictures. Nothing but the devil would have you come and go into a store and see pickled fingers, pickled ears, pickled lips that they ate. You don't want to hear this, but you can go and research everything I say now and Google it, and you'll see I'm telling the truth. We still got people being hung. We still got people being missed. We still got people going through towns. We still got these sundown towns. Yes, our history over here since the transatlantic slave trade is our present. And that's why I got to take you back. You got to open your mind so we can go back. I don't know how much time I'm going to have to do it, but I'm going to take my time so you can come back and dissect it. So now, we talked about the number 13. We talked about all of our Black warriors. Now in Toma, because we are Black conscious, we like to talk about our warriors, not only the civil rights, but the nationalist fighters. People like Yahweh ben Yahweh. Yes, he happened to be a Hebrew, but it didn't matter. Nation of Islam, that, hey, it don't matter. They were right here in North America with us, going through the same thing we went through. Malachi Z. York. And let's talk about some people. Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Dr. Francis Krantz Welsing, Kwame Ture, formerly Stokely Carmichael, Assata Shakur, Huey P. Newton. We got a beautiful sister that was very deep and very wise, Sister Ava Muhammad, Malcolm X, Nat Turner, Akua Njeri, wife of Chairman Fred Hampton Sr. Chairman Fred Hampton Sr., Angela Davis, and a few more. But I just want you to know, we stand on their shoulders because they're trying to get rid of all the nationalists, all the people who stood up to try to have us to do for self and have our own, because they want us to go down with them. They want us to keep being stupid, fighting with each other. They want us to keep thinking that politics is going to save us. And the word itself is telling you, poly means many. Ticks is an animal that sucks the blood off of humans. That's what politics is here in America. Blood suckers. And you thinking that our salvation is going to come from politics. You're wrong. If that was true, then Moses would have been Pharaoh. But he ain't, is he? He wasn't, was he? So now, let's talk about some of our warriors. And let's talk about how deep this rabbit hole goes. I'm almost through. Martin Luther King Jr., Nelson Mandela. Now, we truly lifts up Winnie Mandela. And you all don't know what we know, but next week I'm going to read off some of the Black Africans who are part of this understanding that we are in. But for now, and for all our people, for those who, I hope I name one of the ones that you can grab a hold to. But Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, Honorable Marcus Garvey, Honorable Noble Drew Ali, Honorable Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, Clarence 13, who they thought was crazy. They always think you're crazy when you're saying some things and giving some people some high level knowledge in mathematics that they know what they are, but they didn't want you to know. Oh yeah, when I say they, I'm talking again about the white man. Huey P. Newton, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, they were all exceptional human beings. What do you mean, Brother Minister, exceptional? They were ETs. Oh, ETs, what do you mean, Brother Minister, ETs? They were extraterrestrial. They were extra earthly. They were extraordinary. They weren't ordinary, they were extraordinary to do the things that they did. They received inspired revelation from the Creator. Yet, because they were in human flesh, and this is the part people don't get, they made mistakes. We all got to fight every day to overcome our, what in the Bible they say sins, but I'll say our lower self, our fleshly self, because it moves us into another path that in the Bible it says the way to hell is wide and many go therein. But the way to God is narrow. It's the straight and narrow path. And many don't go, just a few. Do you want to be in that number? They received inspired revelation from the Creator, but they made mistakes. But we, brothers and sisters, if we're going to make it, see, because today they have truth mixed with falsehood. But today, our Creator can give a clear, holy message in an actual imperfect vehicle. But He's going to give it to you to decide how to decipher it and draw the good from the bad. Because if we keep looking at the bad, we'll miss out on the good. And that's what we have a tendency to do, look at the bad side. So we look at Maulana Karanga, so we can't recognize Kwanzaa. Get the good out. Get the good out. In the Holy Quran, it says, isn't it a mystery how God can bring pure milk out between urine and dung? Right in the middle, something pure comes out. Isn't that deep? So if you can't look at the leader and take the good and stop playing on the bad, we're not going to go forward. All right? We got ETs, extraterrestrial. What is an extraterrestrial? What is terrestrial? In the Bible, it mentions two levels, celestial and terrestrial. Celestial is up there, out there. So stop looking up when we say terrestrial and extra. That means we got regular terrestrial people on Earth in their own territory, and we got geniuses who are extraterrestrial. Now you get it? They got you looking up for extraterrestrials. Now we right here, right among you. Stop looking up in the sky. If we look at their good, I'm sure their good outweighed the bad. The right outweighed the wrong. As these men matured, see, and I use that word matured now because I found out that it ain't about your age. It's about how quick you become mature. Because I know some people my age, and I'm 68 years old, and I know some people my age act like little children. They're adults, but they act like children. They're adults, but they have no discipline. They have not grown up. See? So as you mature, as they matured and their wisdom and their knowledge increased, that's what happened. They began to evolve from human beings to supreme beings. They were not meant to be worshiped, but they were meant to be kept alive through their teachings. So we know that you go all the way back now. We all been talking about stuff within the 6,000 years since the white man been on the planet. But we've been here way before then. This is why I say Black heritage, because we have inherited this planet from our forefathers who were here at the beginning of when Earth began. Not the dates that they give you in your school book, but the dates that God gave some extraterrestrials to give us who are actually extraterrestrial. I'm going to read to you. Let's go all the way back now. Let's get past this slavery crap. I'm not going to look at none of them slave movies. You want to go back to your roots? We're going back now. Our Earth and our solar systems was created 78 trillion years ago. As soon as this Earth was ready, 144,000 ancestors, our ancestors, came from another star system. They call it Sirius. You got Sirius A, you got Sirius B. They inhabited the Earth after preparing it by seeding it with plant and animal life. About 7,000 years after their arrival, the population increased from 144,000 to 1,000,000,008,000,000. The first Earth mentioned was created by the 1,000,008,000,000 original gods. And I say, ye are all gods, but children of the Most High, from the stars of the previous universe. They existed in that previous universe, but toward the end of that universe, along with trillions upon countless trillions of other people, other blacks on other planets, in a state of mind that we call divine unity. Even then, unity was the key to our power. That was the source of our power. All right? It was called divine unity or the oneness of God. This one God in truth, not the modern religious talk, but one God. Now, when the trillions upon trillions of people at the end of the previous universe were united as one, here's what happened. Here's this oneness that they're afraid of, y'all. They experienced an indescribable expansion of their minds, which were as one mind. It expanded to such an extent that it not only circumscribed their entire universe, but exceeded the boundaries by an immeasurable extent. You hear that? They consciously left their perfected bodies. I talked to you all about the caterpillar and the butterfly or the moth, how they transformed. And the body that went in was not the body that came out. They consciously left their perfected bodies and rose in their mind far above the universe. They looked down on it, saw it become small as they continued to expand. The unified mind of the people, who were as one person, was so immense that the stars appeared to be the size of atoms. As this person, I'm gonna stop there, I'm gonna go back here. The matter of every star and planet in the universe is created in 7 forms. In modern words, these are magnetism, electricity, light, ether, gas, liquids, and solids. The 4th substance that they call ether, we in Toma call it dark matter, which is that black stuff you see out in space, where the creator made his first beings from that dark matter. Darker than 10 midnights. All right? It is black in color, as one can see by looking out in space at night. This absolute blackness called space not only supports the other substances, but it also gives individual color to all objects. This is how they were able to see the planet, the Earth. Why? Because the color black contains all other colors in itself. So that 1,000,000,000, 8,000,000 original gods made themselves new bodies. They covered them in skin whose color is black, getting it directly from the dark matter in space. Why? Because the gods create all plants and animals from their own bodies. They need to have all colors stored in a single color in their creative germ, which is called the dark dominant germ or the dark dominant gene, the source of what modern people call melanin. Brother, another word they call us is melanated people. I don't know if you knew this, but we're known as melanated people. Now, am I saying black is our ethnicity? No. No. But we're showered in that understanding of black because black is this mystery key. Black is this mystery key to King Solomon's minds, son of man, his minds. Going into black will unlock the door to so many mysteries that you continue to ask God, why, but you don't want to go and dig deep into black. They didn't want you to. But until you do so, you won't understand these things. Black is an ancient symbol. The black dot is an ancient symbol of something they call the black dot. And if you put a black dot in the center, ink, of a white piece of paper, over a period of time, you will come back and that whole sheet will be black, showing you the power of that black essence. It's the black seed of all humanity. It's the archetype of humanity, the hidden doorway to the collective unconscious darkness, the shadow, the primeval ocean, chaos, the womb, doorway of life. Ancient symbol for blackness was the subject of intense scientific investigation over a period of 300,000 years by profound ancient scientists. I'll go there later. Hopefully I can. Who were themselves black and conscious. A long line of highly intelligent scientists studied their own essence and discovered a hidden doorway to their souls and spirits, a doorway to advanced laws and rhythms that span the universe. They discovered universal laws rooted in this black seed, feeding every dimension of time and space. These original titans found that all life came from this black seed. Talking about space, the womb. All life was rooted in blackness. All things possessed a memory of their collective ancestors. This came from a book called African Origin of Biological Psychiatry, Dr. Richard King. So now, upon arriving on this first earth, this one mind of God incarnated in those bodies. All right, that was created from dark matter. Half were female, the other half were male. All right. Each pair, male, female, were called soulmates. This 1,800,000,000 original people then proceeded to instantly create perfect plants and animals, from which all evolutionary life forms evolved. They also proceeded to create new stars and planets around the first earth by condensing part of their expanded mind. After living on that earth for more than 1 trillion years, they finalized the plans for the completion of a new, much larger universe. They then gave birth to their descendants, and they passed on out of life. They ascended. Right? Look how far back I took you. Way beyond transatlantic slave trade, way beyond when the white man showed up. There's a man they call Yakub, who is the god of the white race and every other group under black, Chinese or Asians or the Mexicans, Hispanics, every other one of these groups, the Indians, the Native Americans, all of them, their god is Yakub. I know you don't want to hear this. But he's not the black man's God. Now I'm almost finished. Let's talk about melanin, because that's what this is talking about. Melanin. What is melanin? A black brownish pigment, a hormone that produces color. It's dark too, it's black. All right. Melanin is the biochemical substance that drives physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual life. Makes you mellow. And the word male, mellow. Male is short for black. Melanin is the natural chemical that makes black people's skin black. It's present in black people's bodies. Their skin, the cells, the nerves, the brain, the muscles, the bones, reproductive and digestive system, and all body functions in a higher amount than other races. Melanin is. All right? And so you can even go to the back of your mind, this brain back here, part of your brain that's called the locus coeruleus. Some of them call it the black dot. All right? Coeruleus meaning black. All right? It contains large amounts of melanin. Back here, y'all. Its cells provide the principal nerve that supplies to many areas of the brain. What is brain structure? A nerve tract that runs from the brain stem, from here, into your spinal cord, containing large amounts of melanin. It's 12 stems connected to it that connects to your spinal cord. The 12 brain sites or stems, they contain melanin cells. So now you're understanding 12. We'll go there later. You don't never see the 13. Melanin, the color of melanin appears as black because it absorbs all colors. There we go again. All colors came from black, y'all. Once the color enters melanin, it can't escape. It's like the black hole in space, y'all, that draws in all the light. Melanin is concentrated colors. It's a cellular black hole, similar to black holes in outer space. Are y'all hearing me? When you really know who you are, you'll understand why this solar system is the solar system. Why the microcosm, us, represents the macrocosm out there. We got to know this. Melanin is inside and outside the body. It's the vital chemical that makes life itself. It is usually brown to black in color. It's a civilizing chemical. It reproduces itself. A free radical protector, can be transformed into blood, concentrates nerve and brain information, neutralizes and oxidizes, which breaks stuff down and converts substances, reduces, builds another substance, and is unchanged by radiation in high temperatures. Melanin is found in the environment, springs, lakes, soil, plants, atmosphere, and animals. Now you see how those beings who were black were able to produce all of those things you heard me say they produced. And it came from themselves. How? Their mind. Anything you conceive in your mind, you can achieve. Anything you thought and think in your mind, you can make it come to be. You can manifest it. These beings were highly intelligent beings. These beings, you hear in the Bible, they say 24 elders. They were 24 scientists. 12 were of a feminine aspect, and the other 12 was of a masculine aspect, which you heard me mention as the soulmates. They were soulmates at that table. 24 scientists. So you get a more say black according to scientists means death. Yeah, the scientists of this world, the white scientists of this world put that in the dictionary that it meant death. But I'm here to tell you that the 24 scientists tells you something totally different. These 24 melanated scientists would let you know that black is universal. They will let you know that all life is rooted in blackness. All colors are a shade of black. Black is the color of the night sky, the ocean depths, outer space, the birthplace and womb of the universe. Black is the color of carbon, the key atom found in all living matter. Carbon atoms linked together to form black melanin, the first chemical that captures light and reproduces itself. I don't know if y'all hearing me. Come up out of this one now. So while we're coming up and America's going down, we're going to have to really look at things. All right? In Revelation 17, 1 and 6, let me show you what's happening to America. And we got to come out of her and do things for ourselves. I'm going to shut up in 1 second. Revelation 17, 1, 6, there came one of the 7 angels which had the 7 vials and talked with me, saying unto me, come hither, I'll show unto thee the judgment of the great whore that sit upon many waters, with whom the kings of the earth have committed fornication, and the inhabitants of the earth have been made drunk with the wine of her fornication. So he carried me away in the spirit into the wilderness. I saw a woman sit upon the scarlet-colored beast, full of names of blasphemy, having 7 heads and 10 horns. The woman was arrayed in purple and scarlet color, decked with gold and precious stones and pearls, having a cup in her hand, full of the abominations and filthiness of her fornication. And upon her forehead was a name written, Mystery, Babylon, the Great, the mother of harlots and the abominations of the earth. And I saw the woman drunk with the blood of saints, with the blood of the martyrs of Yahshua. When I saw her, I wondered with great admiration. America in the Holy Bible is symbolized as the mother of harlots, the great whore of Babylon. She started with 13 British colonies, They later went against Britain so they could become a united state. All right. Just sharing some stuff with you real quick. So we got to come out of her. If we're going to be who we're supposed to be, we got to come out of her mindset, brothers and sisters. Why? Because we must be restored to our rightful position on this sonship called Earth. We got to develop a plan, P-L-A-N, on a higher plane, P-L-A-N-E, in order to become our extraterrestrial selves. If you look at that word, it's planet. Showing you again, that's us, a plan inside of the word planet. A plane, P-L-A-N-E, then extraterrestrial, E-T, our extraterrestrial selves. Almost through. I think I'm through. I hope so, because it's almost time to go. What am I saying, brothers and sisters? I'm saying that we have extraordinary power, that we are these carbon atoms. We are the melanated people. The name of Egypt was called Kemet. The word Kem means black. Again, going back to black. We resonate with the blackness. It's not our ethnicity. We basically don't know our ethnicity because we're new people. The blood of all the nations of the world flow through our veins, so we're comfortable with whatever culture we want to adopt. But now we got to sit at the table and form a united nations right here among the many different tribes, among the many different nations. And we need to sit at the table and remove our religious and cultural differences and then get up when we walk out of the meeting, pick it back up and keep going. I'm telling you, that's what we're going to have to do. Or 10 years from now, it won't look like this. It's going to be worse than this. It's going to be worse. And you and I, especially those living in the ivory towers, will fall down like the Tower of Babel if we don't get up and do something for ourselves. I'm not through. We got to have our own farmland, our own media, our own channel of distribution, our own products like home care and personal care, our own entertainment corporation, our own full-service food co-op supermarkets, our own security or military, our own schools, our own banks, our own hospitals and clinics, so they could stop experimenting on us. And every time we come up with something to cure something, they steal it from us to cure people. Coming to ourselves. Love your own. Be yourself. Coming to ourselves, who we truly are. Study. Learn the history they're going to tell you on TV. But go back to ancient Kemet. Go back along the Nile Valley. Go further back, beyond. Go 78 trillion years. All of that time that we were on this planet of peace before that first beginning of the 6,000 years that this white man appeared on our planet that we created. And now we've been under that for 6,000 years. But yet for trillions of years, we was on the planet and it was peaceful. Can it be that way again? Yes, it can. I leave you as I greeted you in peace. Hotel, shalom, assalamu alaikum, abaragani, alafia, and ashe. Black power, peace. And I guess since I'm still on, I'll say the power to define, the power to develop, and the power to defend that which is in the best interest of Black people.
East 71st Street at our new time from 12:30 to 1:30 p.m. and on Facebook from 12:30 to 1 p.m. If you have enjoyed what you have heard, please feel free to support us with a monetary gift.
The one that causes all that exists to exist. The one that is self-existent.
How many men have children and the children never meet their father? See, you created a void in that child because you are a part of that child.